Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Scott Galvin, and let's queer up drag culture. Pee-wee Herman, Paul Reubens breaks silence on life and drag. Paul Reubens is best known to the world as Pee-wee Herman, the bow-tie-wearing, bike-riding man-child who became a popular pop icon. But in the new HBO Max documentary, Pee-wee as himself, Reubens finally steps out of the shadows of his famous alter ego. Filmed before his passing in the year 2023, this two-part documentary compiles over 40 hours of interviews, 1,000 hours of archival footage, and never-before-seen personal photos. Reubens takes control of the narrative, offering a rare glimpse into his life beyond the red bow tie. According to the press release, Pee-wee Herman as himself is, quote, the definitive portrait, end quote, of Reubens. It dives into his circus roots in Sarasota, Florida, avant-garde theater influences, and his journey towards separating his private self from the public character of Pee-wee. In an exclusive HBO clip, Reubens reveals how doing drag in art school helped him shape Pee-wee. He said, quote, I got in drag and I made a film that I think that was a dream. I could draw a line from that to having an alter ego and being successful at having that character pass as a real person, end quote. The film also highlights a same-sex relationship that deeply impacted his art. Pee-wee as himself premieres May 23rd on HBO Max. I haven't been this excited to see a documentary in a long while. Pee-wee at his height. I was in college, and to show you what a fan of Pee-wee I was at the moment, I would actually watch the Saturday morning show. And I was in college, what a nerdy thing to be doing. But the humor on the show could be appreciated by adults, even though it was aimed at kids, maybe like The Simpsons or some of the other things that have come since.
The hidden innuendos. That
Right. And just the sheer goofiness. I really, really am looking forward to it. And I'll be honest with you, hearing that he had a same-sex relationship, I should have realized that years before. You want to know? It wasn't until I heard this documentary advertised that it even dawned on me. Oh yeah, wait, who did Pee-wee date over these years? It didn't. He was this character that I never saw as a sexual being. Right. So it's going to be super interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, you're not alone in watching it, no matter how old you were. And of course, he had a couple of people who were regulars on his chair, such as Cherry, who wasn't actually a person. Yeah. But he also had Miss Yvonne with the beehive. Right. So what do you think people called me for years?
Miss Yvonne.
Especially, not that there would be any reason for them to be campy, but especially my gay male friends decided I was now Miss Yvonne.
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. Now he's, incomparable. There was nobody like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also watched him and I was well out of college. Yeah, and like a lot of artists, I think that artists just have rough patches in their life and have struggles. Like, while you were reading the story, they showed the picture of him when he got arrested in the adult theater, which I think is ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
You should not be arrested if you're, that's, victimless crimes. But, I'm looking forward to this documentary as well. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is probably still one of my favorite comedic movies. I can probably quote almost all of the lines from that. But I think what's interesting in the story, though, is that we're covering this under drag culture. And and although Pee-wee is a male and is performing in a drag of the character of Pee-wee Herman, that's what drag is about. It is performing as a character. It has zero sexual explicitness involved, just as any other character on Sesame Street or any other character-driven show where humans are in costumes. That is what drag is about. And so the story of putting him in the place of drag, I think, is really important for the moment today, because nobody was trying to cancel Pee-wee Herman, although he was, he was dressing as this caricature. And a lot of people on the show, as you mentioned, are also dressing in caricatures of, different characters. So I think it's a good time to reflect on his story, and I'm sorry to see that he's gone so too young.
Yeah.
Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.